So here I have frozen eggs, individual. Most of the time I freeze 12 at a time. So that way, if I need how many I need, I just need to open this and I freeze this back in October 11, 2020. They still look nice. They still seal. What I do is I use my muffin container with my silicone muffin lines, and I put one in every space. I crack an egg and I put it in the freezer like this so they freeze individual. That is one way to preserve your eggs. Last night I took out 6 eggs. I do cook my eggs for breakfast for the week, so we are going to cook this so you can see the texture after being freeze. These are from the same batch, October 11, 2020. So you're going to see the texture of my eggs. They've been out since last night, and we are going to see how the texture works for this. Another way to preserve your eggs are pickle. And I am going to show you guys in another video how to do pickle eggs. This particular container, I did it in back in August. In matter of fact, I have 2. It holds a dozen eggs in each container. So here I have 2 dozen of eggs already pickled. And I do have a few dozens in my freezer already packed and sealed, freeze. And I do this when I get eggs on sale. I do not have chicken in my garden. I would love to, but I don't. So when I get eggs on sale, I go ahead, buy 2, 3, 4 dozens. A long-term preserving your eggs is I bought this in online. This one, I got it back in September 2020. And you know, guys, when you get this 10, they call it 10 cans, I believe. There is 2 pounds and 4 ounces of scrambled egg mix. All the instructions are in the back, and it tells you how much egg to use and it by quantity, if you want the amount of 2 eggs, 4 eggs, 6 eggs, and it tells you how to do it. Easy enough. So guys, this is my way to prepare. I have long-term scrambled eggs. These I canned it back in August. They still seal. I can grab them through the lid and they still seal. They last for a good amount of time. Frozen, I have no problem with this. One weekend, I forgot to get to the store and get me some eggs. No problem. I just got in my freezer and got me some eggs, and we had breakfast that morning. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the texture of my eggs when they are already defrosted after being freeze from October. Okay, family, now we are going to process the eggs. I'm gonna do some scrambles for the week for my breakfast. I also like to prepare ahead. What I do is either I do scrambles, I do ketos, so I also make shuffles. I also cook some ground beef, and those are my breakfast or breakfast and lunch. If I am doing one meal a day, I only eat ground beef one time a day. Or if I am doing keto, then I do my breakfast and lunch, or breakfast and dinner. It depends on what stage I am doing, and that's what I like to do. I like to prepare ahead. I like to be ready, so I don't have to be wondering during the week what I'm going to have for breakfast, what I'm going to have for lunch. Okay? So over here, I already have my skillet warming up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my eggs. They are already still sealed in the bag. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut and let my eggs, I'm going to drop them in this plate here, so you guys can see the texture of the eggs. Some people don't like this. It's a little, it changed the texture a little bit, but not a lot. I just smashed them pretty good. Get you a little bit closer. And I just break the yolk. I have no problem with that. Some people do. So if you don't like to freeze your eggs, that's okay. This is something that I do just not to run out of eggs. Most of the time I buy them in the big pack, the 30 count pack. I buy them in the 30 count pack. And I'm just gonna whisk. I like to add a little bit, I like to add a little bit of milk. We're gonna add some salt and pepper. I also going to add some green peppers to give it a little, I love green peppers. There I add a little bit of milk, and I'm just gonna whisk this together. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I'm just using regular salt. You can use whatever salt you have on hand. We're gonna add some pepper. And I'm gonna start frying my green peppers. These are some green pepper that I get out of my garden. As soon as I harvest them, I just go ahead and cut them in little pieces and freeze them. I still add into my bag as I harvest. I dice them and I freeze them as I go. Okay, I'm gonna fry this. I'm gonna add all of it. Let's fry this pepper. I'm going to crank the heat a little bit, and we are going to fry this pepper a little bit. Once it gets a little cooked, we're gonna add the eggs. My peppers are coming along very nice. They are already start to soften a little bit. I do not like them to cook. And if you notice in my grease here, this is that I cook a little bit of ground beef and I had a little bit of fat extra. Since I am in keto, I am not doing clean keto. I do dirty keto. I don't care about fat. It has never bothered me. I have 2 years doing keto and I have lost a lot of weight. So that's pretty good for me. It's softened enough. Now I am going to grab my eggs. I'm going to dump that in there. I use these paper plates because it makes my life easier. Remember, it's all about preparedness. It's all about simplifying your life. I'm going to give it a little mix here so my peppers get mixed in there. I'm going to crank the heat a little bit and I'm going to keep moving. I'm doing scrambled eggs with the frozen eggs that I had in my freezer since October 2020. You can probably see some separation of the whites and the yolk. It don't bother me. If it bothers you, you can always mix it with your mixer. You can always put it in your blender. You can always use one of these mix that they are pretty neat, and you just mix it together. You will have your mix a little better, more unified. But it don't bother me. So my scrambles are coming along pretty good. I'm gonna finish cooking this and I'm gonna show you guys the end of the, once it dry out all the water from the milk and it gets a little bit more cooked for me. My eggs are the way I like them, dry-ish, a little bit more drier. I'm gonna turn the fire up. And here I have, remember I put 6 eggs in here. I'm gonna divide it in 3 portions. So I do kind of separate them in the pan so I can have the same amount of eggs divided by 3, if that makes any sense. Okay, and that's it. And then these are my containers for breakfast. I like to use glass. It smells delicious. That pepper is from my garden, so you know it's full of flavor. Okay, there's one. And that will give me 3 breakfasts throughout the week. I did make some shuffles last weekend. I did not record that, but next time I'm gonna do shuffles. I'm gonna take you guys along the way I do it. It's gonna take me a little while because I made like a lot of them. Okay guys, that's it. Get the little tiny bit. that's done. I got my 3 containers here. And what I do is, like I told you guys, I do not do clean keto. My keto is dirty. So I just sprinkle a little cheese on it. I always have cheese on hand. I buy the blocks and then I shred it myself. It's cheaper that way. And there you go. You have 3 delicious breakfasts. I also want to show you the texture of the eggs. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's good. So let's give it a try. Nothing different. You cannot tell the difference. You might see some separation, but the flavor is good. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. God bless.